Welcome to Gaming Bible's Top 10 Games of the Decade. Number 10, God of War. Part sequel, part reboot, 2018's God of War reinvented PlayStation's action series into an open-world adventure dripping with spectacle. Kratos became a wounded hero battling inner demons in his role as a father as strongly as he did the very real monsters of the Norse world, bringing new nuance and complexity to the series. Perhaps the game's best new feature is the Leviathan Axe, a brutal weapon woven into the game world, making it hard to see how this series ever existed without it. God of War will stand as one of the last big exclusives for the PS4 and one of the best games on this generation of hardware. Number 9, Outer Wilds. An open-world space game with no focus on combat and all of its emphasis on exploration might not sound like what you're after, but anyone who plays Outer Wilds will doubtless find themselves immediately obsessed with peeling back its layers, exploring ancient and terrifying worlds, and uncovering the truth behind a cosmic mystery. Horrifying and life-affirming all at once, Outer Wilds is a beautifully designed triumph on all accounts. Number 8. Red Dead Redemption. Rockstar's first redemption, but not the studio's debut Red Dead of course, might have been superseded in scale by its 2018 sequel, but warm memories of this Wild West adventure have stayed with us. The story of former bandit John Marston's quest for salvation was a true epic at a time when few games really sucked the player into their worlds with convincing depth, offering the feeling of a society that went about its business whatever the player's role within it. With several moments of high drama and just a little heartbreak, this is a cowboy job that we'd all happily pay again and again for. Number 7, Grand Theft Auto 5. Not just any game can boast to have sold over 110 million copies, generated close to an estimated $6 billion in revenue, and holds 7 Guinness World Records. But then, Grand Theft Auto 5 isn't just any game. Closer to a cultural phenomenon than a piece of entertainment software, it's hard to imagine a world without it. Rockstar's prized franchises never shied away from controversy, and it likely never will, especially in today's balmy political and social atmosphere. But GTA 5 showed how the studio's provocative tone could be successfully married to a world to fully lose yourself in. Number 6, The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. What can I say about The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim that hasn't already been said? It's one of the most immersive, richly detailed, and mind-bogglingly massive RPGs of all time. Whether you choose to be a lusty Argonian, a stealth archer, a Nord warrior, a stealth archer, or a stealth archer, the wintry wastes of Skyrim amaze and delight, regardless of if it's your first or your 31st playthrough. Number 5, Marvel's SpiderMan. Marvel's Spider-Man is the game fans of the Warcrawler have been waiting for all their lives. Insomniac Games took the characters and world of one of the most iconic heroes of all time and created a game that mixed thrilling traversal, a fluid combat, with a heartbreaking story that manages to capture the spirit of Peter Parker better than the last 50 years worth of comics, movies, and games combined. Number 4, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. From cult concern to role-playing powerhouse, the rise of the Witcher franchise has been a marvel to behold, and it's with 2015's Wild Hunt that CD Projekt Red's grandest ambitions finally become achievable thanks to the era's advanced gaming hardware. Technical successes aside, The Witcher 3 is a deliciously richly written adventure with a cast of characters who you actually care about, locations to fall in love with, and a hefty dollop of moral ambiguity that'll test your own boundaries when it comes to screwing entire villages over. Number 3, Minecraft. Absolute freedom is an oft-promised feature of open-world video games, but none, arguably, have touched the go-anywhere, do-anything wonder that is Minecraft. Mojang's procedurally generated sandbox release of 2011 is probably as close as any of the games here come to representing a legitimate second life in a virtual realm, be that an existence of peace and exploration, or one of foraging and survival. Minecraft is a game that's redefined the possibilities of its medium, and engaged a generation in a way that most other titles can only dream of. Number 2, The Last of Us. Few games can claim to have resonated so hard with audiences that they're considered to be one of the best titles of all time, let alone of the last decade. The Last of Us redefined the idea that a game couldn't take you on an emotional journey on par with the greatest Hollywood movies or best-selling books. Gameplay, graphics, acting talent, and more contribute to the cacophony of splendor that make this game so important, and who can forget that opening sequence? Number 1, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is Nintendo firing on all cylinders. It's a game bursting with charm and innovation, one that manages to pay tribute to the franchise's past while carving out a bold new path for the future. Set in a sprawling, gorgeous world, it constantly rewards you for having the courage to explore, the wisdom to solve its puzzles, and the power to take down its most challenging enemies. It's a modern classic and worthy of number 1. Those are our best games of the decade, and what a decade it's been. What do you make of our choices? Did your favourite make it? Let us know in the comments and stick with Gaming Bible for the next decade.